countdown to Turkey Day is on, and nothing says Thanksgiving tradition like stuffing. And we've got a recipe that will definitely become a tradition for your Thanksgiving feast. And serving up this morning, our good-to-eat gourmet guru. Here he is, Chef Kevin Belton. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Are you ready for the holidays?
I am ready, and I know you're ready because you've got some incredible recipes.
Well, you know, besides the old standards, I always have to have grandmother's cornbread dressing and things like that. So I love wild rice, so I figured why not do a little different stuffing?
Well, I know you're wild, so I mean,
Thank you very much.
he's wild.
You taught me well. I started with the onions, garlic, all right?
I love that garlic.
Now,
Man,
normally I'd
I
put celery in, but guess what? I forgot the celery. But that's okay. It happens. You know, it happens. So I have parsley, I have some fresh sage, and apricots.
Ooh, give it a little sweetness
A
there.
little bit of sweetness, you know, and this is one of those things where, you know, some folks don't like savory and sweet. And if you're not a fan of the savory and sweet, don't do it. You know, just go ahead with the savory. But we just want this on the heat just long enough for these flavors
Well, Thanksgiving,
to open up.
Anything goes. Anything goes.
Yeah, you know, and I tell you,
In the pot.
everybody has so many different interpretations. So many folks like different things. I thought this would just be a little something different.
Oh.
Just a little something different for them to have. Now, I have wild rice that I've already cooked. I have some bread that I've dried out. I've done this with sourdough. I've taken a baguette. You can take whatever you like and do that. I also have some toasted walnuts in here. So we'll start to get some of this in. We're gonna let this just kind of stir together, those flavors to blend. And I tell you what, we're gonna moisten this up in just a couple of minutes, and to make sure it's nice and moist and flavorful so nobody's eating dry stuff.
But I tell you what, and this is another one of those really easy recipes.
Yeah, the longest thing it takes is to cook the wild rice, which is only 15 minutes.
I told you it was wild.
Thank you.
For more on this recipe and all of Chef Kevin's Good to Eat recipes, head to the Good to Eat page at WBRZ.com. Well, coming up, we'll gobble our wild rice stuffing. That's next on Good to Eat. Then you've come to the right place. We're cooking a wild and wonderful stuffing recipe with the king of stuffing. Here he is, Chef Kevin Belton. Man, you've been cooking that for a while. It's looking really good.
I guess because I'm stuffed.
You're the king of stuffing.
There you go.
You need a crown, though. We need to.
We'll work on that.
Okay.
Look, little chicken stock, just to moisten this up. And also that little sizzle, those onions caramelized will deglaze the bottom of the pan, get that little bit of, you know, that goodness up off the bottom of the pan. But we just want to keep this nice and moist. You know, 350-degree oven. This is going to go in the oven, you know, 20, 30 minutes. You just want it to heat all the way through, really come together really, really nice.
You know, and you bring up a good point. Have some extra chicken stock on hand when you're cooking on Thanksgiving morning so you don't run out, because you can always use it for something.
You know, I have to tell you, I never cook with plain water. If we put water in here, it would just dilute the flavors. So don't cook with plain water, always cook with flavor. So chicken stock, vegetable stock, some kind of stock. All we have to do now, get it in our pan. You can see how different, see how nice and moist this is? Because in the oven, it will dry out some. So this will go in the oven. So imagine, now, I hate to say this. I'm jumping ahead. I'm jumping ahead. This is how I think. Imagine this, a little bit of this in a bowl with some turkey gumbo.
Ooh.
Because you know after Thanksgiving, we got that leftover turkey.
Now you're talking my turkey
gumbo.
Language there, man.
Yes. You know,
Turkey
it's just...
Nothing like smoked turkey.
Now who's talking dirty? All right, so we'll get this in the oven, and guess what? We're gonna put that potato gratin together and get those in the oven, and these will be in the oven together, just having a good time.
Gobble, gobble. For more on this recipe and all of Chef Kevin's Good to Eat recipes, head to the Good to Eat page at WBRZ.com. Coming up, another Thanksgiving side that will never be forgotten because it's Chef Kevin's recipe for potatoes au gratin. Oh, it's actually gratin. But that's next on Good to Eat. Turkey Day's almost here, and if you're looking for an easy, delicious, and last-minute side dish that will become the star of your feast, Chef Kevin Belton's got some perfect potatoes gratin. He's back in the Good to Eat kitchen. Gratin.
I tell you what, you can step on a potato, I will still eat it. I love a potato. I love a potato. Here we have heavy cream, milk, and garlic. All right? Cast iron pan. And you know, gang, if you have a mandolin at home, the mandolin can cut your potatoes really, really thin. If not, just take your time.
Oh, that kind of mandolin. I thought we were going to be playing a little music.
You thought we were going to play music?
Little music.
Well, we could. We could. Basically, we're just going to take these sliced potatoes, go around our pan. You know, and what's nice is, I love getting the kids involved. This is something that, don't have the kids cut the potatoes, but they could go ahead and put them in a pan, in a little circle, get it covered. Come on, open up, get in there. Look, a little bit of Creole seasoning, a little bit of salt. We're gonna put a little bit of milk in. Just a little splash. Gruyere cheese.
Oh man, now I know why you call it a gratin. Ah, there you go.
Isn't that, I mean, you know, in the oven, 350, this will sit next to that stuffing and it'll just get perfect. It'll just get pretty. You don't have to overfill it. What's nice is, depending on how many folks you have coming over, you know, you can use the big cast iron, the big skillet, and do the same thing. But look, a little bit of seasoning, a little bit more milk, and you know that garlic flavor. Now, two things you can do. You can leave your garlic cloves whole and fish them out of here if you like. But I leave the garlic in. And let's just top this with this Gruyere.
Oh man.
And you can use different cheeses, you know, if you're not a fan of Gruyere. But to me, Gruyere, I don't know, it's like, I don't know if I want to call it the meat of cheese, but often if I'm doing a meat dish, I'll use Gruyere in that, with that.
Just makes it more gourmet.
Just has just a nice, wonderful flavor. This will go in the oven, bake until the potatoes are done. The milk helps cook the potatoes. It'll give it a garlic flavor. But look, you get the pure flavor of the potato, the seasoning, and the Gruyere just makes it smooth and creamy.
It was so simple. All you had was some cheese, some potatoes, and milk, and a little seasoning. That was it.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it takes. Sometimes, gang, the simpler you keep it, the better it'll come out.
Perfect for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
For more on this recipe and all of Chef Kevin's Good to Eat recipes, head to the Good to Eat page at WBRZ.com. Coming up, we're getting ready for Turkey Day as we sample all the recipes we've shared today. It's tasting time on Good to Eat. We're celebrating Thanksgiving early with Chef Kevin Belton and his Good to Eat recipes, wild rice stuffing and potatoes gratin. And man, you got the finished products right here.
Smell that? And you know what happens is, there's so much to eat on Thanksgiving that sometimes I don't eat turkey until the next day.
I gotta try that.
I mean, think about it. I mean, we made wild rice. We sauteed onion, garlic, put in apricots, thyme, a little bit of parsley and sage, sauteed that down. That apricot gives it a little bit of sweetness. Folded in the wild rice with some walnuts, toasted walnuts. Moisten it with chicken stock so it's nice and moist so it doesn't dry out. Then our potatoes. Gang, slice your potatoes thin. And if you don't have one at home, get a mandolin, but make sure you use the guard to protect your fingers. But the mandolin allows you to slice the potatoes real thin, and we just layered the potatoes, a little bit of milk and cream with a little garlic in it, a little salt and Creole seasoning, then that Gruyere cheese, and that crust on the top, that Gruyere cheese mix. It's just...
And it's not gonna replace Grandma's cornbread dressing or mashed potatoes, but it could become Grandma's stuffing and potatoes.
All right, you know why I started making different things like this? Because I love the cornbread dressing and things like this. So I found everybody coming over was going for that. So I decided, let's make some other things to get them to eat, and that way we can save our favorites. I'm sorry, I know that's selfish, but I'm thankful I came up with that.
Well,
get it? Thankful? I can't.
Oh, I love it. Well, we're weeks away from Thanksgiving, but we got to try it. We just got to try it.
Of course.
Let's try it.
Of course. Here, grab your fork. I'm going right in the pan here.
Potatoes, man. Love these potatoes.
I tell you what, that's gonna be hot. That is so good.
Let me get it.
I amaze myself sometimes. You know,
Can't even get it. I can't even
go
get
in this one. You want that potato so bad. You got that crispy edge of the Gruyere.
You're right about that Gruyere cheese.
Yeah, it's a,
The flavor, it just brings it out. It makes it more gourmet.
that's it. But you know what's most important? It's not the food, it's the company.
Oh, absolutely.
That's it.
Hey,
right.
it's great to see you.
Same here.
Happy Thanksgiving. It's good to eat. For more on all of Chef Kevin's Good to Eat recipes, head to the Good to Eat page at WBRZ.com. Make these recipes part of your Thanksgiving family tradition. They are good to eat.